Hello, nerds. Welcome to GeekBeast, part of the Geekish Network. It's been a long time. We've been off the air. There's been a lot of running around. Hot Boy Summer's been going on. I'm your host, Chuck, and with me we got Randy. Say what's to the people, Randy.
Yo, what's going on, Geek Beast? Chuck, man, what are we talking about tonight?
First things first, Sony buys Alamo Drafthouse Theaters with an eye on bolstering Crunchyroll.
Oh,
So it came across they were buying Alamo Drafthouse. Are you familiar with Alamo Drafthouse?
I am not.
They may have one in your city. So, Randy, Alamo Drafthouse is a movie theater with a bar in it,
I
and
mean,
you
we have
buy whatever.
ours.
Yeah, but yeah, Alamo Drafthouse is sometimes some draft house you can order from your seat throughout the watch.
I think they
Yeah,
were the
we
So
have
as
first
you're
one to
watching, you hit a
do it.
button.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
you hit an
they were
app,
the
and
first one
they
to
bring
do
it to
it.
your table like here
we
as
have
you're watching.
a theater like that. We have a theater
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they'll bring
Alamo
your food,
Drafthouse.
your drinks, they'll bring anything to you via the
Yeah,
app.
yeah. So that's brilliant. That's brilliant. So Alamo Drafthouse is one of the first ones. They're known for indie films. I've seen hip hop indie films there. Uh, Quentin Tarantino ran a grindhouse in it at one point where he did his grindhouse films with Robert Rodriguez, and he did a lot of grindhouse films. And so Sony's looking to buy it. The news to this is this would be the first time where a studio actually owns the theater in a long time. That used to and then they came and busted all that stuff up. But now they're gonna let them have it back again.
They have
I'm
one
not,
here. They have one that's 14 miles.
uh-huh. Yeah. If you get a chance, you should go. Alamo Drafthouse does things like we're gonna show Wonder Woman, but only invite women to it. We're gonna show Barbie and only invite women to it. We're gonna show Oppenheimer and we're gonna open it up to everybody, and we're gonna have special Oppenheimer brews and whatnot.
Hmm.
It started in Austin, Texas. That's where it started in. So it's some hipsters, it's some hipster stuff. It's some hipster mess. And so
It's about 17 minutes, one about 12 miles, 17 minutes from where I live at.
okay,
I have to
okay.
check.
You should go check it out. And so Sony's bought Alamo Drafthouse, and we just found out they're dropping Crunchyroll in it. You know what that means, Randy?
Anime?
Big screen anime all day.
Yep.
All day, Randy. That means you can go in there and watch Jujutsu Kaisen. You probably have a Crunchyroll subscription. You probably show it. You walk right in. You can watch Jujutsu Kaisen with some brews and some food.
Sounds dope. Sounds
Yep.
cool. You know who I just found out is a big anime fan?
Who's that?
Jalen Brown for the
Yes.
Boston Celtics. He's a
Yes.
huge anime fan.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. There's a lot of them in professional
yeah.
sports. Who's
He
the other
he
kid that talks about it? Not
Why you gotta
Zoe.
bring up Celtics, man?
I said I said in my mind, I said
Wow.
Ronnie might
Wow.
not like this.
Why
He might
you
not like
gotta
this.
bring
So
up
I
the
tried to
Wow.
slip
Celtics,
it in
He
there.
he did just bring up the Celtics on you,
Uh,
didn't he, Rodney?
I got you. I see
He just
how
want
it
to let you
is.
know. He
I
just took
see
a
how it
jab at you.
is.
He's like, I know there's a lot of anime fans in NBA. Hell, all the players are under 25. But I'm gonna call out this
The only reason
one
I
for the
knew because I
Celtics.
was just
You know
well, I
this
mean, he
this
did just
recent
win it.
NBA champion is a big anime fan.
Yes,
I didn't say that. And the reason
that
is because
secured them as the best NBA team right now with more titles, right?
and the
Mhm.
only reason is because like they're talking to him a lot, and they interviewed him, man. I saw an interview, and he was they were asking him his top 5 anime, and he was just going it. So I just thought I'd bring it up. Sorry, Rodney.
Yeah, that's good. It's gonna be. I'm watching a ton of anime right now. I think I'm addicted. I think I need to cut down my addiction. I watch at least 2 to 3 hours of anime a day,
Every day?
every day. I need to stop myself. I can't.
Wow.
I'm trying. I'm trying to get through all the Crunchyroll except One Piece. I can't do One Piece, and I'm thinking right because I'm crushing series left and right now, right? And I'm like, I know the studios. I'm like, man, I gotta stop paying attention. I'm not doing this anymore for a living. But it's so much fun. Yesterday I saw an anime. I saw imagining. You know what imaginary means?
No.
It's Studio Ponok. So Studio Ponok, which is Studio Ghibli. So Studio Ghibli said, "Hey, we're not going to produce no more anime. We're done. We're done." And so the main producer was like, "You about to fire everybody, Miyazaki?" Miyazaki's like, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm old. I'm retiring. Me and my best friend kind of had a falling out, so we're done." And so
Hmm.
they took the whole entire studio, Ponok, and created another anime studio called Studio Ponok. Ponok is the time at midnight in the Czech Republic and Czech language to say we still have everything from the old, but we're starting completely new with this one. So they created this anime for Netflix called The Imaginary. And my God, it is gorgeous.
Okay.
Everything is hand animated. Everything on it is hand animated. He sat there, the director and the actual producer writer. The producer and writer is the same person. So there's a producer at the top, then there's the director, and then there's the writer who reports to the director. So how are you the producer and the writer? Because you at one point the director tells you what to do, and another point you tell the director what to do. But they killed it. They crushed it. The animation on it looks amazing. They do use computer software, of course. So there is a lot of computer elements with the cameras and whatnot. But he's like, no, we hand animated a lot of this. We keyframed a lot of this.
Okay. Does that make it better?
That does. Human touch makes a lot of things better. You know, a computer will make it perfect, and then our uncanny valley senses start kicking in. It's like for real making NERD music. I'm getting really nerdy on you guys. I'm getting really, really nerdy on you guys. So uh, uh, NERD made perfect music. And
Mhm.
that's the biggest hiccup of all of it. Cause like unlike normal rock music, you can hear the flaws in the music. And so Pharrell's like, F that. Him and Chad, like, we're making perfect albums, no flaws. So there's the kick drums are always perfect. What's up? Can't hear you.
I thought about that because a lot of music, that's what gives it that personal touch is
Yes. So the hand touch does
creaks in
everything.
between the music and the
Mm-hmm.
studio.
Mm-hmm.
So
So for them, Studio Ponok, they're like, we are the one of the best animation houses in the whole entire world that ever existed because they're Studio Ghibli. And so we're gonna show you guys how great we are. And that first opening scene, I was like, I was in child wonder looking at it. So I'm really excited about that. Mappa puts a lot of hand touch on stuff,
okay.
you know. As much as I'm a big Mappa nerd, everybody knows that. But they're gonna break that studio. That studio's done,
Oh,
unfortunately.
really?
I think so. They're working everybody to death.
Oh.
So when you get work to death and you're in high demand, you can start a new studio or go to another studio. And anime is popping right now in Japan. They thought it was dying for a minute there. Now it's back strong. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we will
We'll
see.
see. We'll see. We'll see how it all comes out. But that's good news. We have Draft House buying Alamo Draft House bought by Sony to boost their Crunchyroll. That means I'm going to force Rodney to go to watch anime with me. He's not ready for that. He's not ready for that.
I'm gonna see what they got planned. I might go this weekend.
Yeah, you should go see what they got. It says the idea of the movie studio owning a chain of theaters still raises uneasy questions for a lot of theater goers. The practice was illegal until 2020 when the Paramount decrees were repealed. The decrees put in place in 1948 were originally part of a set of antitrust rules designed to end the vertical integration of movie business, where
Mhm.
studios controlled every aspect of a film's life cycle, from production to theatrical distribution, which was often limited to studio owned theaters.
And they wrote a lot of that stuff back because it used to be studios and television networks couldn't be,
Yeah, and it made sense
and that's
because
it. That's the reason we actually got the WB in the late 90s
mhm,
because that rule was appealed. And so it allowed Warner Brothers to have a television studio.
Yeah.
Because it all used to be all connected. Like the agent,
Yeah.
the movie studio, the television network, the movie
The
theater.
production
Yeah,
companies,
right. The
everything was all
production
vertical.
company. He just wrote, yeah, right. He just vertical
The
wrote all
director
the way
signed to
out.
a studio. It was is and then we're going back to that, it seems like, you know.
Well, because it's more competition now. Because a lot of movie theaters are getting their lunch handed to them.
Yeah, they are. They need support. They do need.
Yeah.
I would rather for there to be a committee of all the studios to support theaters across the nation to get the basic necessities they have. Now, concessions and stuff, popcorn buckets, that's all on the base of the theater. Like you should have an Alamo Drafthouse because it's different than a Pacific Theater. It's
Yeah.
different than a Cinemark. It's different than an ArcLight. It's different than a lot of theaters, but there should be a committee that's made up of every studio, independent or not, join this committee and they support the survival of theaters.
No, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. I think the UK has a similar system where the theater houses, they're actually supported by theater companies. So the companies work together. And when you go to London, you go down to what's the name of the square? Everything's a theater. Everything. You can watch any type of play you want. It
Mm,
lets you know why the UK produces way more actors than we do.
because they take it real, real
They take it
serious.
serious. They take it serious. They got schools all over the place. You walk, you see 10 theaters and 3 schools.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, something like that might have to happen in the next like 2 to 3 years because people don't, I don't know, people
Yeah.
don't go to the movie theaters like they used to, especially after the pandemic. People have not returned back to movie theaters.
No, they haven't. They're not going to. Because people don't want to pay $100 for a two-person ticket.
Hey,
And it is $100 night. And you
easy,
know,
easy.
in a struggling economy, it happens.
Yeah,
Like the
easy.
CEO of Sony Pictures Entertainment, Ravi Aja, said, in the press release, we bought Alamo Drafthouse fans, and we're thinking about pairing well with Crunchyroll's offering. Cause suggesting that anime will play a large role, it lets you know how powerful anime fans are.
Mm,
Anime fans don't see a lot of theatrical releases, but when G Kids does a release in LA, every showing is sold out, Randy. Sold out. I forgot with the Dragon Ball, they bought the Brawly movies out here, or MKF kids. They brought these anime out. They bought some other Pro Mare came out here. And that theater was sold out. People were dressed up in cosplay. They were there having a good time.
okay.
And you're like, okay, there's legs here. And Sony's like, hey, the subscription service Crunchyroll is not suffering. We've killed 2 subscription services already at Sony. Crackle, we killed Crackle, we killed Funimation, and we're just gonna run into Crunchyroll.
No, man, I think it would be cool for things like that. Cause like was it the Alkaline when we talked about a few weeks ago that they were going to
Mhm.
release the first two episodes
They put in
in
El
the
Capitan. They put in
yeah,
El
so like
Capitan.
if we would
Yeah,
have
they put
had
in El
that
Capitan.
in Ohio in some place within reason, someplace within like 20 miles, shit, I'd have been there.
Yeah,
Yep.
they did a special promo where it was like the first 2 episodes they showed on a bunch of different screens. It wasn't like
Uh-huh.
everywhere, but it was more than just El Capitan because I know
Yeah. Was
it
it more
was like
than El
yeah, it
Capitan?
was more than just El
Okay.
Capitan. And then I did see like yeah on my socials, on my own personal socials, and then on like Reddit and a bunch of like Star Wars Twitters that I follow. People were
That's
posting about
crazy.
it and they were loving it, and they were like you said, they all dressed up in cosplay. A bunch of people had
Yeah.
lightsabers, all that stuff, and people they had glowing reviews. They all loved it, and it wasn't like mass. It was pretty widespread, but it wasn't like super general release levels, but
Mm-hmm.
it was a significant amount of theaters.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
I I wonder this, guys. Uh was um Was this a Disney call, a Star Wars call, or an ILM call?
I don't know.
Well,
I,
but at Disney Plus call, a Star Wars call, or ILM call to say, let's put these 2 episodes in theaters around the country. I wonder who
Yeah.
made that call.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. But I do see it
Yeah.
being more a start of a trend, though.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
could see,
It's
like
an
you're
appetite
saying,
out there because
I could see because think about it too. Is you're talking about all these shows that are more like cinema than they are TV
they are.
shows,
Exactly.
right? And so, I'm sure they've done it with like House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones. I'm sure they do Game of Thrones, but like making it more widespread like this, like the way they do with Acolyte, and it was supposedly free. Like you just got to sign up. And you just had to go to the website and just like beat all the other people out.
Yep, beat everybody out. I tried.
I tried too, but it was already gone. It was already sold out. And then,
Real
but like with this Alamo Drafthouse thing with like Crunchyroll, I could really see it with all the anime, like you're saying, Chuck, where they do something same thing. They'd be like, all right, here's the latest episodes. Here's the premiere episode of what, like whatever it is, right? Jujutsu Kaisen, right? It's like the first 2 episodes only in theaters, or in theaters first, and then it drops on Crunchyroll. And that'd be fucking amazing.
I would see a whole series. Like if they were to tell me something like, hey, for a certain price, you can see 4 episodes on Friday, 4 episodes on Saturday, or 4 episodes on Saturday, and see if like I would pay for the whole thing. I'd pay for the whole season.
Or better yet, they do it overnight, right? We start at 8 p.m. and we go to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I would.
People would do it, man.
Would do it in a minute. Because the Anime
it.
Expo, they do that. Anime Expo is like we're gonna do a complete run of a whole series. They literally had a room set up. Because Hyper RPG, I think, set it up. It was a room where they played One Piece from the moment the Anime Expo started, and they kept it going. So they just played every episode. The 24 hours just kept playing it. You could come in and out of the room as you please.
It would still take you weeks to watch One Piece for 24 hours. That's the thing.
People come in and out of rooms the whole entire time. So this is smart.
Yeah, man. So I'm hoping movie theaters and studios start coming up with these kind of creative ways to get us back into the theater.
Because they have to.
They have to.
And they have to, right? Like you're saying, Randy, earlier, like they have to figure out ways to get people to come out. Because it's just like, no, people are like, yeah, I'm gonna spend, like Chuck said, yeah, I'm gonna spend for 2 people like almost $100. It better be a different product.
Hold on one second, guys. I gotta get something at my door. My door just rang. Hold on.
Okay, he got his food. So yeah, I would be looking forward to it. So a few series that I would be looking forward to, man.
Man,
like,
they just did.
Not just The Boys. They dropped it at the movie theater. You could watch like all.
And I think that's probably what they're trying to do, right? Like with Netflix and Netflix buying some theaters and like Sony buying some theaters, like. Yeah, I could really see it where like, yeah, they drop a bunch of like the episodes, like the first we saw, speaking of which, back in the day, Pendugeekery, we were on some sort of list and we got access to it, but we saw the very first episode of Witcher at El Capitan. And they had a whole like event around it. It was a PR event, obviously, but it was like very limited. And like you went outside and there's all this like Witcher stuff outside. Like it was a pop-up event. But then after that, you go in and you watch The Witcher. And we saw it and I think it was the first 2 episodes. And it was cool. I would totally do that again. I would totally do that again. And it was just like, man, it was really good. And it was like, it helped that it was like really, really good,
Yeah.
So,
you know what they could do? Hey, we're going to do a Ghostbusters run and show every Ghostbusters movie. We're going to do a Rambo run, show every Rambo
Sony,
movie.
right?
Because it's Sony.
It's Sony.
We're gonna do a Muppets run and show every Muppets movie.
I'm like the Muppets, you could have every theater with the Muppets project. You have like the Muppet Babies for like the kids. You have the Muppet movies. Yeah, the television show, the Muppet show. Yeah, you could do it all. You could have the whole theme for that like month or week.
All Muppets.
Yeah, for all Muppets. Any iteration of Muppets that you want to watch, you can watch it.
Yep. Yeah, you watch the Muppet Babies. You can watch the vaudeville show. You can watch the other 4 shows they made that nobody watched, but probably me. You can have the movies. Man, there's so many things you can do. They could have a total grindhouse and like we're gonna show Fright Night.
But yeah, but like another thing too,
Mm-hmm.
and I even saw this. I think I might have seen it on Reddit where somebody was like, they should give away like free merch, like
Yeah.
T-shirts and stuff. Like you go and like I remember like a bunch of my T-shirts. Like I got a Hobbit T-shirt because we saw the very first thing, and the only reason why I wear it because it was free. I'm like I didn't really particularly like the movies. I like the first one, but then after a while, But anyways, but that's not the point. But like. I got a free T-shirt, and I still wear the shit out of that because it's like it was free, and it's like
Yeah.
they should do, and then like the movie buckets, all this stuff. It's like man, more value for your buck, right? And it's like it's just like get people out to theaters.
Yeah. Like people don't understand. It's Sony Pictures that owns the movies for My Hero Academia. And Sony Pictures owns the licensed out of Aniplex Demon Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they just show those all day long. Hell, they could show The Last of Us in the theater. We've never had a theater release of The Last of Us.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of things we haven't had a
Yeah.
theater.
Yeah.
We're in that golden age.
Is that technically HBO or Sony though? Right?
That is the question.
Right?
That is the question.
But they could collaborate. I'm sure they would.
They could collaborate.
Yeah.
The one thing these companies aren't going to pass up on is money.
Yeah.
That's why the vertical integration doesn't make sense if you just limit it to your movies. It makes sense if you make your movie special, but you make sure everything else is up in there.
Have to, like, you all have to play with, y'all have to play in the sandbox because it's not for everybody anymore. Everybody's got to
I think the exclusivity across all forms of entertainment, they're realizing they're just losing too much money.
Too much money.
Yeah. I mean, you see like Sony games on PC now. You see see stuff from HBO to showing up on Netflix. You see it now. It's like those days are just like I don't think those it doesn't serve.
Well, the competition isn't rival studios. The competition is goddamn TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Or Facebook or a thread. That's the competition. Yeah. Sony's not necessarily competing with Marvel anymore. They're competing with some goddamn trend on TikTok that these kids are gonna be on for 3 or 4 hours a day.
Yeah, that's they're competing against.
So it's like, you got to change up the model.
They're competing against YouTube Shorts.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like kids are like, well, I gotta pay to go to movie theaters. I got all the entertainment in the world I want here. And you got a whole generation now that has grown up that way.
Yeah. You're not competing against a Will Smith movie. You're competing against Kai Cenat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. To take his kid home for hours and watch. So you've got to change the model up.
Yep, you got to change it up because Kai Cenat is hilarious.
No,
it's hilarious. Speaking of things that are changed up, the Jim Henson Company selling the studio lot after a quarter century. The Jim Henson Company is selling off its historic studio lot in Los Angeles. This gives me mixed emotions. I've been to this lot. This lot is beautiful. The image we have in the article is Kermit the Frog there, and when you hop on that lot, it's magical. Not the creature shop and whatnot, that's in Burbank, but the lot itself. Built in 1917 for film icon Charlie Chaplin, the lot has changed hands over the years, including who else is built in the lot? Red Skeleton, CBS, A&M record company, but before being purchased by Henson in 1999. So it's going to be sad they're going to sell this lot. Unfortunately, there are pop-up shows that pop up on the lot to the public performance of Puppet Up, which returns July 26, 28, August 22nd through 4th. It is like Avenue Q level or the other Henson property that Brian Henson made. They're adults. It's adult properties based on Muppets. And I am going to get my tickets now knowing that it's going to be sold. Because Puppet Up, I missed it last time because I was traveling. I think I was in Seattle and I was like, man, I want to go to Puppet Up. And I love the Muppets. It's one of my favorite things. Every time they do a rendition of the show online on Disney Plus, I am one of the 10 people that watch it.
Now, the thing I'm inquiring about, though, I know they're selling it, and you never know what's going to happen. But
Mhm.
just because they're selling it doesn't mean it's going to be decommissioned or closed
Yeah,
down.
I agree.
It could just potentially have new ownership.
Yes, but it won't have all that Henson mystique inside of it. Now, they gotta get rid of all that. You can't leave. If Amazon buys the lot or Netflix buy the lot, they're not gonna leave a Disney property inside the lot.
That's true. You're right.
They're gonna
Okay.
pull all that stuff out and put their own stuff in it. The
Right.
buildings will be the same, but
Yeah, they're going. Yeah.
you know,
Hopefully Disney buys them,
hopefully Disney does buy them.
That would be the best option.
right? And then
Disney, they should put a theater inside of it.
it'd be so awesome.
That would be amazing. Disney buys the lot and puts a theater inside of it. And I'm seeing they have the money because Disney backed out of their Lake Nona plans in Florida. And after they sell these lawsuits for a cool billion, they'll still have like 13 billion to spend. So they can actually buy the lot and be okay.
They
They're not
can.
hurting for money.
They're not
They
hurting.
say
Disney's not-
they are. They say
Yeah,
they
they
are,
are.
but they're
There's
not
nothing
really
in this
hurting for
world.
money.
If Disney really wants it, they cannot buy.
Disney
That's-
has said this. We realize Disney park pricing has been unfair. So for California residents, not just SoCal residents, California residents, we're gonna have special pricing for you for 3 days. You get 3 days for $250. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Does it matter because
It doesn't matter.
still
It
going to
doesn't
make
even
the
matter.
money because you got to buy food, you're going to buy merch, you're going to do all of those things.
You're gonna buy the Genie Pass.
All right, yeah.
Rodney, have you bought the Genie Pass yet?
So I was just gonna say, I did this. I literally just did this. So I got the ad saying for SoCal residents, 3-day pass, $250. I did it, and then from there they upsell you. They're like, yeah, you can convert it over to a yearly pass. And you already use that $250 as your down payment. And you convert it over to a yearly pass for like whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then they even entice it even more. They're saying like, as a SoCal resident, you can pay monthly. And so, so I was like,
oh, we put you on a payment plan.
Yeah. So I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I did it. I did
So
it.
they got,
You're right down the street
the
from the
money.
park,
They
though.
just did it differently.
And you're right down the street from the park.
I'm
You can park and go walk and just walk all day
6 minutes
long.
away. 6-minute drive away.
Yeah,
to
you're
the
supposed
park.
to do that.
So it works out for me. I guess like the California, like they're making money off of the people like in NorCal that only can come down maybe 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Right? But like for me, they're definitely losing money off of me because like I could literally go
every day.
Right now, I didn't get the full one. I got the cheapest one. So the blockouts in the summer are gone. I can't go again until August. So, which is I'm fine with because it's way too crowded.
It's hot.
Way too hot right now. So I'm cool with going in August. But my thinking was, you know, and I'm okay with going by myself because one, it's just it's good for my mental, it's good for my health because I'm walking, and then it's a lot of fun because like I end up going and seeing a lot of Star Wars stuff. I hadn't seen it a lot, and every time I go, I literally just tell myself, I'm gonna go to things I've never gone and done before.
You need a Magic Band Plus?
The next time I'm out there,
I was gonna do that, Chuck. I was gonna go buy.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying. I went to go buy the band, but it was like confusing because there was like 3 different bands and they were all different prices.
They're all different prices,
and it was expensive. So I was like, which one do I get? If I buy the cheap one, do I not get like the full experience?
They're all the same.
Okay,
You're paying for the labeling. You're paying for what's printed on the band.
The branding.
Yeah.
Right? That's what
They're like, this is the limited edition Star Wars. And this is the limited edition Star Wars.
And then like I told it to Andy, and Andy's like, yeah, just I'll lend you mine. He's got like two, and then
Yeah, I got
also
like
you
2 or
said,
3 of them.
yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
will because
I
I
got
mean
them
we got
somewhere
time.
around here.
I definitely wanted because like I was thinking the same thing,
Yeah.
dude. I have to do the game that Chuck created. Like I have
Yes.
to. I see it everywhere. I see people doing it in Batu, and I'm like, man,
Mm-hmm.
I have to. My partner created this game. I gotta play this game.
Yeah,
But
I give you a band to
I haven't
use.
bought the band yet. So
The next
Yeah.
time I'm out there, we got all I gotta go. See, my family don't like amusement parks, all right? So when I come out
Yeah.
there, I can't go with them.
I owe Randy money because I forced him to get a ticket and they were there for like 20 minutes. And his daughter was like, I'm ready to go.
oh my god. Oh my
He had said, you gotta go to Disneyland. I
I
basically
told them
guilt
that
tripped
I was
him.
like, she gonna
I
get
guilt
there and she ain't gonna like it. He was like, you just being cheap.
yeah, I guilted him into it. He did it. I said,
She
see
didn't
y'all at
have
the
a
park?
wife.
He said, man, we were there 30 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, but like going
I
back to
owe
what you're
you, Randy.
saying, like I, and I did it, and to shout out, it's like Arnold from back in Pan Geekery
Uh-huh.
days and Pots and Pan Geekery, friend and all that stuff. He was doing it for like years, and he was telling me about it. And I've had friends and family have passes for years, ever since I can remember, like for decades. I know people that go there, especially growing up here. So many people do it, but like I never thought about doing it. And finally, he was convincing me, and he was like, he just go by himself, walk around. He parked like he wouldn't even. He told me in places where he parked, and he skipped out on parking. And it was just like, man, it's just like a whole other world. And like, I loved it, man. Every single time I got a chance to go, these last few months, I've actually loved it. Because it's just like it's exactly what you said. It's like, yeah, you get to like, from my mental, I listen to like podcasts, like on my phone, music, walking around the park, getting steps in, like I'm seeing a bunch of stuff, and it's just like, man, I feel like a kid. I feel like a kid looking at like,
Yeah.
and it's like it's totally different than like it's just so much fun. It's so much
They
fun. So
they
yeah.
they're all about magic, man. I told you, I tell
And they're
everybody.
making money. That's so going back to what we were saying, they're not hurting for money. They say they're hurting for money, but they're not. They're never gonna be hurting for money, man. Like, yeah, they're cutting all this stuff, like they're cutting all their production off of Disney Plus, they're trimming things down, but man, they are not hurting for money. I mean, there's like I didn't even realize there's like so many different Walt Disneys around the world. I didn't even realize there was a Walt Disney Shanghai.
Yes.
I didn't know there
Yeah.
was one in
It's
Shanghai.
huge. It's massive.
Yeah,
That and Universal, there's big ones. Yeah.
it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a Walt Disney Shanghai out there.
Yeah,
And
man.
they have like rope courses and all kinds of shit. Like they don't mind their people getting injured. They're like, oh, we allow people to get injured. Yeah, you got to jump that gap. You got to jump across that bridge. You got to jump that gap like Indiana Jones. And if you slip, you'll land in some water. You'll be okay.
Yeah, man.
This is so exciting.
Disney
This is
earned
so
88 billion dollars last year.
88 billion. Like they ain't hurting. You gotta think they're about to settle out of court with 2,000 people, dog. To make sure they can get their homes back in California, or they can buy a home in California. They got the money. They got the money. Um, so we're gonna jump from Jim Henson. We're gonna come back to this one later. We're gonna skip over the Pharrell Lego movie story right now. We'll come back to the Pharrell Lego story movie on Wednesday because I want to talk about that. I want to talk about everything Pharrell's doing because Pharrell is crushing it right now. We're gonna jump into the Nintendo Direct. I know you're not the biggest game player out here, Randy, but Nintendo said, "Hey, everybody's talking about their hot game summer. We got hot game summer too." So we just had the Summer Game Fest. Microsoft said, "This is what we're doing." Sony's like, "This is what we're doing." Nintendo's like, "Oh, we're gonna let y'all hold our beers real quick. Y'all care to forget, we're Nintendo. We don't compete in power. We don't compete in this. We compete with only Nintendo." Like Nintendo's like F the big three. There's only big me. Nintendo is Kendrick. So they're like, hey, we're gonna give you a Mario and Luigi game. Yeah, we know. We give you one like every 3 years. We're gonna come up with another one called Brothership. Brothership. I said, Nintendo out here making up words on us. So it's a Mario and Luigi are having a RPG, so it's a role playing game,
Mhm.
and it's the first one in almost 10 years. They're like, hey, we're gonna come with this game, and after the franchise development studio Alpha Dream shuttered, they're like, we're dropping this on November 7th. We shut the studio down, and we're still making the game because we're Nintendo, and we just got people. And then they're
It
like,
was
oh,
the meeting that I was scheduled to deliver my
I hear you, Randy. The
that
meeting that was scheduled.
go ahead.
They have Fantasian Dimension from Final Fantasy creator Hironobu Sakaguchi. This is a turn-based role-playing game. So they know so Nintendo's like, we know our crowd loves JRPGs and loves RPGs and role-playing and tactical games. We got a
Mhm.
lot for them. We know y'all want shooters in America. That's great. We're Nintendo. We do what we do. And then they said they did Nintendo Switch Sports. They have Mio Memories in Orbit, Disney Illusion of Castle. I mean Illusion Island. They're like, hey, we got a new update to Disney Illusion Island. We're launching the Switch Tuesday, the same day as the Direct. We're launching a whole new Nintendo game, Mickey Mouse game, because we're Nintendo. Now we're gonna do Disney Illusion. We're gonna give Hello Kitty an Illusion Island. We're gonna give her a whole island adventure. We're gonna drop all this up at the same time. And then they're like, oh, we've got Looney Tunes because we know a lot of y'all grew up in the 80s and y'all grew up on Looney Tunes. We're dropping Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports too. So we're dropping more sports titles. They just dropped a lot of stuff. Then they had the Among Us update that's coming out for them. And they just dropped, then they said Funko Pops. Who doesn't like toys? We're Nintendo. We're a toy company. So we can make Funko Fusion a toy company. Nothing that we released is high graphics and costs an extraordinary amount of money. Donkey Kong Country returns in HD. We're remaking games that we dropped like a decade ago.
So we're talking about talking just money, brand, things like that.
Yeah,
Guess how much the Mario brand, the Mario franchise, the brand is worth?
billions.
Nope.
How much?
$6.8 trillion.
What?
This is the article. How much is the Mario franchise worth?
What?
I'm gonna put it in the chat. It said around six
What?
trillion dollars. Now, don't get me wrong; they haven't generated probably that, but just like the worth of it.
Wow. Wow. So Nintendo can come up with a new system and say we don't have the money to manufacture it. They can go to investors and say, hey, somebody give
We
us $3 trillion. We got one brand that's going to sell this thing.
got one brand. We can put the brand up. We can lease the brand out,
Yep.
and I'm
That's
pretty sure they've done
crazy.
things like that too. It's like, yo, we want to do something. Like we got the collateral for it.
But look at the games. Donkey Kong Country returns. That is a Mario brand. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD's coming out. God forbid. If they make a new game, you know how they say we're going to sell this game? We just throw Mario, throw the plumbers on it with a few extra characters. Oh, we need a golf game? Throw the plumbers on it with a few extra characters. Oh, we need a tennis game? Throw the plumbers on it with a few extra characters. And it sells like mad cakes.
These are included, not necessarily including like the merchandising, the comic book
Hmm.
sales, all that.
That's just the
And
game.
now they're in the movie game.
Movies.
In the
And
movie game, they hit it out the box.
think about
Yep.
it too. The Switch is a technologically inferior product to the PS5 and the Xbox.
And the Xbox and beat both of them.
And they're beating both of them. And they're beating both of them.
The Wii beat them both.
Yeah.
The Wii beat them both.
Yeah. Yeah.
With no software. The Wii's greatest flaw was Nintendo didn't release enough software. that was easy accessible for casual users. They said,
It's
hey, we're
always
gonna drop
about
Marvel
like
versus Capcom Fighting Collection too.
it's always about gameplay to them.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Everything's gameplay.
gameplay and
Everything is
fun. It's not about like
graphics. Nobody cares about
graphics.
that.
Yeah.
Like nobody cares about that.
Yeah.
I think
They
people
released it.
do, but they don't. The majority of people are just like, look, as long as it plays, I'm having fun. That's what matters.
That's all that matters. But that's Nintendo, right? You know, like we can't see Call of Duty go back on graphics. If they can never go back. They've leaned in the photo real so long that if they made like a fun Contra looking game, people will go crazy.
Well, I
But
mean,
the fact,
and Fortnite's
mhm,
still killing them.
yep, Fortnite's killing them, and it's
You know what I'm saying?
cartoony.
It's cartoony. You know.
Cartoony. You don't even die in Fortnite. You just disappear. You don't technically die.
It's
But
crazy.
Marvel versus Capcom has the fighting game collection coming out. So they're bringing all the Marvel versus Capcom games, the whole collection out. They got Super Mario Party Jamboree, another Mario Party game. And then they came back and said, hey, we got Legend of Zelda stuff. We got the Legend of Zelda's Echoes of Wisdom. I don't even know what Echoes of Wisdom are, what that even means. It sounds provocative, but all I know is you play as Princess Zelda, you don't play as Link.
Mm.
People went crazy when they saw that. Because you see Link saving her, and Link gets swallowed up into another world. And then you see Zelda get free, and they go out and it's like an old school Zelda game, but you play as Zelda. You play as Zelda, not Link. So it's truly a Zelda game.
Crazy.
And they're like, yo, we're just gonna print this money. People went crazy when they saw this game. The trailer, we're like, why they got Link fighting the final boss at the very end. And the final Link beats him and the world cracks and he falls in and she gets saved and she goes out in the real world and she gets to go find him. This is crazy. This is crazy. So they dropped it hard. Then they're like, hey, we got a Legos game coming. Yeah, Stray, the cat game, we got that coming to us too. And we got Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. And for those that know Ace Attorney games, they are the best RPG games made. You know what Ace Attorney games are, Randy?
Nope.
You're a lawyer that goes around and does detective work. And then you present a legal case in court and you can object and you try to win the case. And it's amazing. It's so much fun. It is so much fun. People love that Ace Attorney game.
Long
Love
put
it.
in the chat. As of a few months ago, Nintendo has 11 billion yen in the bank with zero debt.
Zero debt. Zero.
So they just got 11 billion yen just chilling
Chilling.
with no
Chilling.
debt.
Chilling. Yeah, chilling. That's like $800 million just chilling.
Just
Here, we got $800 million just chilling right now.
chilling.
Just
Chilling.
chilling. What we're gonna do with it? We don't know
What
what
we
we're gonna
gonna
do
do
with
with
it.
it? Though that's what we gonna do with it.
They don't release products at a loss. You know, a lot of games are like, look, you know, we spend $300 million to make the game. We had the core game, we have DLC, and we make our money back. Nintendo's like, that's not how we operate. When we drop the game, we better make money on day one. We don't lose money. Our development cost does not hit our profit margin.
DeFunk also said too. He said the biggest pop was probably this game, the Capcom versus Marvel.
Yep.
So I mean, and fighting games are like really, it's still very popular, man. Like Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6 now. What? It's like,
yeah.
dude, I'd love to play this game.
That's a huge game. I'm so excited about the Marvel vs. Capcom. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm gonna buy this collection. I was like, this was the fighting game of fighting games. I've lost so much money in Japanese arcades in this game. It's ridiculous. I thought I was good until I fought some really good players in Japan. That game is amazing. Where you have old school Marvel characters like Sabretooth and Wolverine and Spider-Man versus Ryu and Chun-Li. It's amazing. And then they announced Metroid Prime 4. and everybody thinks Metroid Prime 4 is gonna be coming out. It's gonna be a cross generational title with the Switch 2 next gen. So we know Switch 2 is coming next year. We do know that. And everybody's like, what's Nintendo going to do with the Switch 2? We have no idea. Nintendo is a company we're like, we don't know what they do.
They ain't
It's
got an
going to
answer.
be a
So they on
Switch.
zero debt and billions and just chill it in the
Just make
bank.
money. Just make money. That's what we're
No,
going to
that's
do.
it. Like we ain't gotta
Make
tell y'all
money.
nothing. We'll
Oh,
let y'all know
this
what y'all need to
this
know.
one looks good. Look, Tales of the Shire, Lord of the
Tales of the
Rings
Shrine.
game.
Yeah, Tales of the Shire, which is the Hobbit game, right? Lord of the Rings game. They announced all kinds of games. And they're like, it doesn't have to be big, flashy graphics. Tell a good story and have good gameplay. And that's what people want to play.
This is almost like Sims, but like
It's
in the
Sims in the
Shire.
Shire.
Holy shit! I'd love to play this.
You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. You'll get it with your Switch too.
Oh man, yeah,
Yeah.
it just regular life, like Stardew Valley meets the Shire. Oh
The
yeah,
Shire. Play with a
uh,
bunch of hobbits running around.
just
This is what
harvest
people want.
stuff, building.
Simple things. The Summer Game Fest showed me that there's a lot of independent games being made that are quite interesting, provocative. They're things that major publishers can't release because major publishers put too much money behind the game because their infrastructure is so heavy.
Yeah.
But and with this year has been a really tough year in games. Like a
A lot
lot
of
of studios, a lot of people, a
layoffs.
lot of layoffs. People are not
Studios
working.
closing.
Studios closing. So what we're going to see is we're going to see a lot of people get together independently as they're looking for new jobs, just working on game projects on the side, actually launch new studios that are going to be successful. Because this young generation, you said, they're stuck on TikTok and whatnot. And for them, games aren't about graphics. Games are just about fun, the vibe of the game. Everything's a vibe. And if you don't get the vibe right, I don't care to play your game.
I don't care how good. I don't care what it looks like.
Yeah, yeah.
The same way
I
with
don't
their music and their TV and everything else.
It
You
doesn't
know
fit
what?
my vibe. I'm not
It
gonna
just
play
don't
it.
fit my vibe.
So
Right.
here are these
I remember
small.
like a lot of even like YouTubers, like big time like photographers and YouTubers, they're like, it doesn't even matter now, like shooting in 1080p or 4K or whatever. It's just like, dude, people are watching stuff on their phones.
hmm
It's
Yeah.
like it doesn't
People
even
just want good,
matter. Like,
good authentic content.
yeah. So
And if it's
like,
not authentic, it
I
has
mean,
to be
yeah, you still
funny.
gotta strive to
Yeah,
base really good
yeah,
quality, but it's not like it's not the linchpin that it used to be,
Yeah.
right?
It's
yeah.
like
It's because
in
it's
hip
like
hop, like you don't have to be super lyrical. Like it's like, you put something on. If I vibe to it, then I vibe to it.
And the video doesn't have to be a lot. The
Nope.
video, like I tell you about, K Tronada dropped his new album, right? And all the videos is him in the soundproof studio. And he's just doing something. And there's a feature artist with him. The feature artist is doing something. And they just loop the same thing over and over again. It's just a loop playing.
I
And I was
mean, we
like,
talked
that
about
is brilliant.
I mean, we talked about Casanata a little bit. Like he's just in his basement talking shit, playing games. It's not like
That's all
super.
he's doing. That's all
Yeah,
he's
it's
doing.
not like super graphics or doing things that are super interesting. It's like he's in his basement with his friends and he's talking shit.
Yep. And whenever he has food in, Phantom comes downstairs and takes his food from him.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Funk was like, I'm seeing a lot of streamers play the game Sifis, and that looks like it's a gray box demo level in game engine. Yeah. People just do that. Like
Yeah.
people are playing Hades too, and it's an incomplete game right now and loving it. And loving it. And they're playing it as they're building the game. And when it comes out, they're gonna start it all over again and play it from the beginning. Because if anything, if we learned anything, Among Us let us know that social games are the way. There's a
Yeah,
game
man.
where two or somebody is the imposter, they go around stabbing each other, and you get online and you sit there and argue with people on who's the killer. And you vote them off the ship. And if the killer is at the very end, if they survive, they win the game.
So different. Hey,
People
it's
just want good
well,
games. People just want good
good
games.
games. Just want to
We
have
don't care if
fun.
they're big and graphical. We want competitive games. We want good games. Because right now, Mortal Kombat's getting beat up on. Mortal Kombat is gorgeous. gorgeous game. But people of the fighting game community is like, this is not what we thought it was going to be. This is not the one. They're going back to Street Fighter. I was playing Street Fighter this weekend, and I was like, wow, this game looks amazing. And it plays so well. It plays very well. And they're trying to convince me to play Elden Ring, but I won't play Elden Ring because I don't like dying. Me and dying have a bad relationship. I get
Uh,
frustrated.
uh,
But there's
cool.
like, it's not a hard game. I'm like, what the hell not? There's like 200 something bosses. I told people I saw an ogre jump off a wall and crush every player the first time they ran across him. He's on top of the wall chilling. He's looking at you like this. Yeah, I dare you to walk up. And you walk up, he jumps down and comes start chasing after you. Everybody takes off running, and as you're running, you have archers shooting at you. I was like, why do I want to play this game? That is just anxiety.
In the chat, Defunct said, I'm seeing a lot of stream plays. The game Sisyphus, and it looks
Sisyphus,
like it's a
a
gray
gray
box
box.
level in gaming.
It's so undone, no color, nothing.
Yeah.
We just threw it up there, and that's how people play games.
The entrepreneur says, "Yeah, I don't want a hard game. I want a relaxing game."
Me too. Yeah, she feels me on Elden Ring. I'm so excited for Black Myth Wukong. It's about to come out. It looks beautiful. The person they had demo in the game is playing it way too well. It makes you feel like the game is not challenging. There's no block in that game, so you have to dodge the whole entire time, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. It's kind of like Bayonetta in that way. But the whole fact there's no feint, there's no parries, is going to be very interesting. But that game is the Journey to the West on steroids, and
Mhm.
it looks really, really pretty. No, and my biggest fear is it doesn't play well. Oh,
If it doesn't play well, it will not succeed, like we
it
just
wants
talked
to
about.
see. It wants to see. So hopefully it plays well because the person they have playing it plays it too well. They
Mhm.
crush it. He makes it look like it's easy. Like you see the wolf boss, he comes crumbling, he jumps across the roof. The shingles are falling off the roof, Randy. It looks amazing. The fur is just flowing in the wind, and he jumps down on you and commences to whoop that ass. A monkey transforms into the fire version of himself, and he catches him on fire, and the wolf actually knocks the fire off of him, and you're like, wow, they put that in the game. The studio that made it is an animation studio. They're an anime house, and hired a bunch of game designers and programmers and made a video game called Game Science.
Okay.
So I'm really excited for the game. Everybody is. It's been 4 years in the making, and every year they tease us, and now it comes out in August. So I'm really excited about that game. That
Well,
game is not going to the Switch because it's graphically it's too powerful. It's a lot of game. It's a lot of game. But with that being said, anything you want to share with the people, Randy?
Oh no, what we're coming back Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
and Binge Worthy will be on Wednesday. I don't know what we're
Yes.
watching or they're watching.
I gotta check and see. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know yet.
it
So, but
was.
Bingeworthy's coming back on. We've been gone for a while. We didn't do Bridgerton and Queen Charlotte, so that may be the thing to do. I have to go check. The
It was well,
Rakai's in the
Bridget,
chat.
and is it the boys? Is it the boys?
It may be the boys. It may be the boys, right?
Might be. Let's see. But anyway, stay tuned, stay out there for binge worthy. And then Friday, we do happy hour. Come back for
Yeah.
happy hour. We do a little bit of news, a lot of just having fun and talking ish with your people. So
A little
come
bit of
back and
news, a
join us
lot of
Friday.
happy hour. Yeah, we
Yeah,
do
a
a little
little
bit of
news and
news.
a lot of happy hour.
That's what we do.
Yep.
With that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to Digital Click for helping us with our marketing assets. Shout out to Rodney for being a great technical producer, technical director. Shout out to the Funk for curating our stories. He's our writer. He's the right. He's not the co-writer. He is the writer. He gives us some of the best news ever. He's on top of it. If anybody, we need to have the Funk come back on the show and visit us from time to time. Shout out to everybody in the chat. The Happy Entrepreneur, Jay. We want to give y'all all a shout out, the Funk, for coming in and supporting us as always. Share us with your friends, subscribe and like us. And we're on all socials. reach out to us. Tell us what you want us to watch in binge worthy. Like what piques your interest, you know? We do stick with a lot of genre, but we reach beyond genre. So if you want us to do any type of show, let us know. Um, I'm always watching anime at any given moment. So y'all can ask me any anime question whatsoever. Right now, I'm watching Wonder Egg Priority, and it's giving me the icks right now. It started off really strong, and I would love to break this anime down because I'm watching anime about social disorders. I'm watching
Oh.
a lot of them. So like Comey can't Comey can't communicate on Netflix. I tell everybody, if you have somebody in your family that suffers through social anxiety, Comey can't communicate is a good way to understand who they are.
I might have to watch that.
Because that's what a lot of anime teaches you stuff like cells at work teaches you things about the body. You didn't know anything about the body. So I tell everybody, if y'all want to have those conversations, I'm open to it. We'll tune in. We'll see y'all on Wednesday. Thank you all for tuning in. Rich, like I said, if you want to talk about these anime, I can tell you Wonder Egg Priority, these wild. It's about girls trying to redeem the lives of somebody or one of their close friends that committed suicide. And it deals with suicide and deals with
Hmm.
some other things. Yep. I am watching Bochi the Rock. It is amazing too, and it is dealing with social anxiety.
I
Yeah,
might have to check that out.
yeah, it's really, really, really good. Zenless Zone Zero, I haven't started yet, so I'm gonna start it too. Yeah, I've seen that one trailer, and I haven't seen another trailer. I heard they had 2 or 3 trailers up. I haven't seen them yet, but I'm excited about these games. I'm excited about it. With that being said, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Peace.
Peace.